Check audio. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. We are back with streaming match number 11, which is between Kekanagar Arcade Dragons versus the Annanagar Super Kings. We've had a stop and go for a while, but then I think where things are back to normal. So just giving you a quick recap, Annanagar Super Kings had won the toss and they had elected to field first. And in fact, they've started really well. They've even got a wicket in the first over of the innings already, where Tavit was caught by Satish and bowled by Adit, and so who's basically the captain for the Annanagar Super Kings as well. For now, it's Tyagarajan and Bharat who are there on the crease, and we are at the almost the end of the second over. And Kekanagar Arcade Dragons are already at 8 for 1. Adit is going to be continuing his left arm spin, slightly shorter one. Tyagarajan was able to just knock it towards mid wicket for a quick single. It's been a very tricky wicket, looks like. The batters of Kekanagar have not yet gone big. And oh, that was an opportunity for another wicket. That was Tyagarajan's wicket, and that's basically dropped at point. That was another opportunity, and Adit could have got his second wicket there. Straight went into the hands of the point fielder. That's been nicely bowled. Adit is able to get all the purchase he can from the wicket. Check audio. Okay. So at the end of 3 overs, Kikanagar Arcade Dragons are at 15 for 1. Had a start-stop situation and momentum has been killing, but doesn't seem to be a blazing start like how we've seen before. Uh, Wicket looks a little tricky. There's not much of carry unless and until you're bowling it with real heavy pace. Uh, that's what the wicket looks like. It can be tough at those moments. As a batter, you would want to get your eye in, ensure that you're getting the right timing, and only then go for shots. Nicely tapped towards covers for another quick single. Oh, I think there was a small misfield and they're going for two. Or has that gone all the way? No. Probably gone all the way, yes. It was a gentle tap, in fact. I mean, even with this pace, I think the punch was definitely looking very, very strong. That's what I would infer out of the situation because there's not much of pace. I think the timing was perfect. Yes, there was a misfield, but still, what proves it once again is that the outfield is going to be lightning quick. Oh, leaves it. He was definitely tempted to go for it, but then finally leaves it alone. Won't be surprised if Vijayan would try to bowl something straight. Yes, he does, but that's nicely punched for a quick single towards mid-off. Bharat looks in great shape. Bharat is man having a solid punch, both off the front and the back foot. A back foot drive and nicely placed in the gap between short third and backward point. Very nice one, wide of off. There was definitely enough time for Tyagarajan to shuffle into the back foot and cut that off. Very nice boundary. I think he's playing to the conditions. He's letting the ball come to him and trying to play under the eye, under the head. In these sort of situations, that's the best thing to do because you just can't go by instinct because you're not having the pace. You're going by instinct. I'm sure they're going to miss it. So, a weighted drive. Oh, in the air, their mid on is going to be interested, and he drops it. This is another opportunity for Tyagarajan. This is the second life for Tyagarajan. Adit continues his third on the trot. He's definitely going to be a lethal bowler in this wicket. But just to rewind of what happened, the last ball of the previous over, Vijayan had an opportunity. There was another catch drop. Nanagar have been a little sloppy on the field because they had two opportunities to get Tyagarajan out. Again, try to play in the air, and this time it is taken. Finally, finally. I was just mentioning, and I'm sure the point fielder would have had a lot of nerves during the moment that the ball was coming to him, but then it was definitely an easier one, a dolly. I was just mentioning Adit could be a lethal bowler in this track, in this situation, and he gets his second wicket. They've got the prize wicket of Tyagarajan, and he goes for 14 of 13 balls. Kekanagara Jayasuriya is the new batter who is coming there to replace Tyagarajan. Uh, was I wouldn't say Tyagarajan was unlucky there. He was in fact much luckier. Got two opportunities, but then finally it's a good catch taken at backward point. And Adit has been having a great run today. The captain doing the right thing, uh, bringing him on for the third over as well, and he's already taken his second wicket and just given away 13 runs. Nicely bowled on the pads, and Jaisura is off the mark in his first ball with a quick single. Oh, that bounced really well. Looks like it pitched on the seam because what I'm assuming is that anything which is pitching on the seam with that riz probably is taking a good bounce. But with that, that is the end of the fifth over. Kekanagar RK Dragons are at 29 for 2. This is going to be the last over of the power play. I'm sure wouldn't be the one which was expected by the Kekanagar team, but nevertheless, I think they have to play the waiting game, and that's what the conditions also looks seems to be. Their batters have had a flamboyant start yet, unlike what was going on in the previous matches. So the last over of the power play. This is the one where a lot of things happens because batters want to maximize, the opportunities from the fielding restrictions, and they've already taken 2 runs. No, they're just settling in for single. So it's the new bowler coming in is Gopal, who's coming to bowl the sixth over of the innings. I'm sure Bharat would try to do something to clear this, but nicely taps it down. I mean, he looks to be in a solid shape, solid confidence. You always admire a batsman who's having a very, very good on drive or a punch towards the onside. That's the most difficult shot to play, and with that amazing balance, Bharat has been great. And if he's able to be there, consolidate a partnership with Jayasuriya, I'm sure they'll be able to, bring up a good score, at least 6 or 7 overs from here. They would love to consolidate. They should not worry about, if there are boundaries not coming. I'm sure they will get their opportunities. The pressure will go back to the bowling team. But at the same time, Nanagar would love to have another wicket or two over here. Just one more single. Looks like they've decided they don't want to take the risk of the power play restrictions or do anything right now. Consolidation seems to be the choice. They've got a long off and a deep square leg who's in the boundary. Played slightly in the air. And that is taken once again. Suddenly felt like the ball just lobbed on him. Looks like Bharat was taken by surprise. It's nicely taken at point. This has been a dream start for Ananagar, and they are winning this power play. Consolidation and a partnership is what Kekinagar would love to have from here on. Bharat looked really, really solid. But he falls caught by Barkat, and Gopal gets a wicket in his very first over. He's been bowling really, really well. He's not trying to push too much of a pace because he knows what the wicket is doing. So he's just keeping it gentle at medium pace, and he's letting the wicket do the talking. But while it's not a very big score, but then Bharat looked really, really promising uh, in the middle. Balaji is the new batter who's come into the middle. It's another two more balls to go in the sixth over, ending of the power play. And that will be the end of the sixth. KKR Dragons will be at 35 for 3, and that will be the end of the power play and end of the fielding restrictions. Um, Nanagar can now have their field spread out. They've got a A deep point, long off, long on. The orthodox deep mid wicket and seems to be a deep square leg. Everyone in the boundary in front of the wicket seems to be like they're going for the spinning option. Satish is the new bowler who's come into the attack. Tries to play towards covers in the air for a quick moment. Uh, when the ball is definitely holding up a bit, the batter should be a little bit careful over here. If not, I'm sure this would have been another dolly to covers. The offside behind square is completely packed. There is a short third, backward point, and a point feeder there. There's definitely a gap between short third and backward point, but the cut option is open. Nicely swept away this time towards deep square. The man is in pursuit, but doesn't look like he would be. And finally, that is a boundary, a welcome boundary by Jai Surya. Comes down the track this time. Jai Surya. Is that in the gap? Yes. No, I think that will be cut off by the deep mid wicket fielder, but very good running. They've taken 2 runs. That gap. They're showing intent there. Jai Surya is definitely showing intent. But should also be careful. Should take calculated risks. Tries to eye that gap between short third and backward point. But that was not too short. Nicely bowled by Satish there. Again, trying to eye that square leg side, but I think they've put in a protection. There is a backward square leg sort of a position fielder there for Jai Surya. They've put in. They felt that he seemed to be very strong on his legs. But with that single at the end of the seventh over, KK Arcade Dragons are at 42 for 3. So Godson is the new bowler into the attack, and they've taken a quick double there. Nicely played by Jayasuriya. The fielders are almost on the ropes, so two is always available for them. Running has been, a great success story in this tournament, and at least in the first 10 matches. They've been very, very good. Slight adjustment, they're bringing the mid wicket in front, and a deep square goes to the boundary. And there is, of course, a cow corner fielder and one at long on the leg side, or tries to play that heave or sort of a dil scoop, trying to aim at the gap behind square. Comes down the track, was not able to connect that, didn't come at the pace as he expected. He's been lucky. If not, that could have been collected by the keeper and it could have been stumped. Been very, very tricky this wicket this week. Swept towards the leg side, but they have a protection for Jayasuriya. Trying to push for two, but settles for a single. Great fielding there. Gently taps first point and takes another quick single. The moment you tap and go for the run confidently, uh, that is when you put the pressure on the fielders. Oh. Nicely back towards the leg side, and that will eventually, but still be connected by the mid wicket fielder. But that was definitely a very, very good shot. That will bring a lot of confidence on Jayasuriya, but feels like he wants to, break the shackles and go for it. I would, personally recommend uh, both, Jayasuriya and Balaji to stay calm. Looks like Satish might continue. Looks like Balaji on strike this time. Leg spinner nicely placed towards the leg side once again. They might be pushing for two because there was a slight misfield, and they go for it. It was very good running. It was Balaji's call eventually. Or a premeditated strike towards the leg side, but doesn't get the result he would have expected. Just another single. Trying to cut that away. If you've noticed, Satish is actually rushing through his overs. He's not having a very big run up. He's just adjusting his deep point fielder, getting him a little more finer. Might be something outside off, probably on the shorter side. Yes, it was an opportunity. No, will that ball be running towards the boundary? Yes, it eventually does. Well, the plan was right, the ball was right, but then the angle favored the batter. Nicely cut away and was nicely placed by Balaji. Quicker one this time. Wonderful throw from point, but single was already taken. They went very sharp there. Be the last ball of the ninth over. Oh. takes a step behind, but then plays towards the leg side. They're pushing for two. And that's very, very well run once again. And that will be the end of the ninth over. Kekenagarake Dragons be at 57 for 3. Like Godson is going to continue. Oh, that was nicely turned towards him. His bounce looks like if you are pitching it on the seam, they're able to generate good bounce. Both Jayasuriya and Balaji showing intent to accelerate scoring. Oh, nice paddle once again, but it seems like it's a wide given. Could probably be buys, and that is a boundary wide and buys. Punched in the back foot, just another dot ball. Oh, trying to paddle that once again. Seems like it just went above the stump, so no wide given. Oh, nicely placed in the gap above covers. What a boundary that is. Oh, that was for. Oh, the deep point fielder almost reached there to stop that, but was not able to control it. But still a great connection, a great placement by Ball. Oh, looks like is that going to be the first? Promising. They would have loved to see Jaisur and Balaji consolidating. I was just mentioning the previous over, they were trying to accelerate a bit. Then eventually Jasuria fell there. It was a good catch taken at the deep mid-wicket boundary. And Adit having a dream day today. Once again, as I said, he's definitely going to be the lethal bowler today with the help from the wicket. finger spin, the left arm finger spin is always difficult to face, and he's definitely getting good, drift and turn of the wicket. Comes down the track, the first ball, Arun Vijay, and this is the fourth wicket for him. Well, is this an opportunity to get a fifer for Adit? Well, needless to say, this is definitely something which the KK Nagar Arcade Dragons wouldn't have wanted. Tried to go for the first ball itself, trying to put the pressure back on the bowler, but then risked his stumps, risked his wicket, and Arun Vijay falls without troubling the scorers. Well, the new batter going to be coming in is Nirankar Sharma, and he's going to be facing a fiery Adit Ratnesh, who is currently on a hat trick and also on the verge of getting a 5 wicket haul. It's never common to see 5 wicket hauls in a T20 game. Adit is going to be on a hat trick. Uh, they're trying to bring in a slip, getting in an attacking field. Nirankar, the new batter, nicely fired that one. Survived the hat trick ball, takes a single. Here's another 2 more balls, an opportunity to get a 5 wicket haul. Just nicely fielded at point. Last ball of his spell. Nevertheless, he's having a great day today. That's cut away, and will be beating the backward point fielder and would eventually go for a boundary. And with that, the spell of Adit Ratnesh comes to an end. 4 overs, 4 for 20. What a day he's done the damage, and he's done a great job for his team, Yananagar Super Kings. With that, that's the end of the 11th over. KK Nagar Arcade Dragons are at 73 for 5. Oh, nicely driven by Balaji, but then the long off fielder would cut that off. They'll still run for 2 runs. Gopal continues with his medium pace. Oh, that's nicely driven and a very big ask. And yes, eventually given. The umpire took a while, but then he still gives it. Nirankar is shocked. Sorry, that is Balaji who's shocked. They're trying to figure out in the middle if there is an opportunity to review this, but looks like for caught behinds it might not be there an opportunity, but that was definitely nicely bowled by Gopal. Gopal was definitely confident the moment the keeper took the catch, but Balaji feels otherwise. Well, eventually, the decision is made. Balaji has to walk off, and that is going to be the sixth wicket for Kekanagar RK Dragons. At 73, not a score they would love, but look at the behavior of the wicket. I think what the Kekanagar team should start thinking about is how to use their bowling options. I'm sure they will also have that opportunity when they come in and to pull the pressure back on the batters. But for now, Ananagar Super Kings, the bowlers of Ananagar Super Kings are doing a great job, especially Adit and Gopal. Gopal has already taken his second wicket. Well, let's take a small correction. It was Nirankar Sharma who falls. He was the one who got out. Driven towards long on just for another single. Oh, nicely placed towards the deep square. The ball is trickling down, but that will be covered by the fielder there. Oh, the ball is again holding back. Gopal is definitely, getting to be very deadly once again with that pace. He has that angle which is coming uh, inside towards the right hander, and it's always a very awkward one to play. His release is almost above his head, with that angle coming in, and anything straighter can be tough to play. And on the pads, a strong appeal, and that is eventually given by the umpire. I was just mentioning about it. That angle will definitely be a tougher one. And then Balaji this time is trapped on his pads. Apologies, this was Bala this time, was the new batter. Oh, sorry for the confusion once again. Yes, it was eventually Balaji who falls. He was the one who was taking the innings forward, trying to bring that consolidation, but he falls. LBW, 19 or 14 balls. And Gopal now giving great company to Adit. He's already taken 3 wickets, 3 for 13 of his 2 overs. Now let's see if he has the opportunity to come back, try and get a five for himself. But then spare a thought for the batters of KK Nagar RK Dragons. It's definitely getting tougher to, you know, set themselves and score. Anyone who was trying to do that is eventually falling. Let's look forward how we go from here. But for now, it's the end of the 12th over. The KK Nagar RK Dragons are at 80 for 7. Balaji was looking solid there. It was 19 or 14 balls. He scored three fours. He's not able to take the innings forward. It's very, very important to play as many overs as possible for now. It's Barkat who continues. In fact, who comes into the attack for the first time and starts off with a wide. Both the batters in the middle are fairly new now. Pradeep just playing his first ball, and Bala has just played three and scored two of that. Well, it's a good thing what the bowlers of Ananagar Super Kings are doing is that they're not giving any pace. They're wanting the batters to, come forward and come to the ball and try to play at it to score. And they are playing the waiting game. And for now, being successful, already got 7 wickets. Shot a ball towards the leg side, pulled away deep square just for one single. Oh, that's a welcome sixer this time by. Looks like that was by Pradeep Amritraj. What a hit that was, straight down the ground. Can Pradeep convert a few more from here on? Let's wait and see. They would love to have a few more, the Kekinagar Arcade Dragons. Until that last ball, it was only just one run which Arkat had given away. That's sent back. That's the end of the 13th over. Kekinagar Arcade Dragons are at 87 for 7. And I won't be surprised if Gopal is going to be back into the attack. Well, as I said, Gopal continues with that tough angle. And with that single, it's going to be Pradeep who's going to be on strike. And it'll be interesting to see how, Pradeep would go about tackling Gopal's angle there. He showed intent. He scored a six off his third ball. He was not waiting. He probably believes in his strength, believes in his long levers. Well, looks like he's going to be there to clear anything in his arc. That's wide off Gopal doing the right thing, not giving anything into his arc. He's probably setting the batter there because looks like when that ball went wide of off, there's not much of a foot movement there by Pradeep. Oh, tapped back. Definitely feel something is going to happen here. Either Pradeep is going to go behind Gopal or Gopal is going to be successful with his tactics trying to generate a miss hit. An interesting time. Nicely swung, but a dot ball. Pradeep is not able to connect that. I'm sure Pradeep would like to go behind Gopal this time. Oh, I was nicely bowled into his pads. Probably pushing for a two, no, just a single taken eventually. I'm about to go in the 14th over, 89 for 7. Anything close to 120, 130 would be interesting to see, and also you know, uh, would be enough cushion for them to defend eventually. Oh, wide off. Bala trying to cut that away, trying to chase it. Stabbed in. Is there an opportunity for a run out? There is definitely ask and not given. Pradeep makes it, and with that, that is the end of the 14th over. Kekanagara Dragons are at 91 for 7. Ujain continues to come into bowl his third over. Play towards cover for Mr. Dot Ball. Trying to tap it towards short third. But Pradeep sends Bala back. Oh, what a nice connection this time by Bala. I'm sure that he didn't middle it as much as he wanted. Definitely a big gap behind square there. Fine leg was much squarer. And Vijayan is definitely trying to bowl with some good pace. And with Vijayan's pace, it'll be interesting now to see how Pradeep goes by, because he seems to be wanting to go behind the bowlers, not been very successful. Of course, he connected that 1-6 earlier. Oh, just feeling it outside off. He's holding himself, and it is definitely necessary, because while it is just going to be the 15th over, they still have time. It'll be good if both Pradeep and Bala can take this towards the 17th or the 18th over, and after that try and accelerate, because that is when they will have an opportunity to consolidate a good score. What a ball that was! Beaten all ends up. I was just saying, Pradeep should not worry about this. Both Pradeep and Bala shouldn't worry. Even if they don't get any boundaries for the next 2 overs, wouldn't matter. Because if wickets fall, I'm sure they're going to be wrapped in less than 110 runs, 105, 110 runs. But then if both these batters can go till at least 17th or the 18th over, they'll be able to get a respectable score. Well, with that, it is the end of the 15th over. Nagar Arcade Dragons are at 92 for 7. Audio check. Yes. Okay. So Satish continues with his leg spin. It was interesting to see, Bala almost coming towards the wide line, trying to play it behind leg. Oh, nice connection. And eventually that was bowled. And I was just mentioning in the previous over, it was very, very important for this partnership to take it forward. They shouldn't have worried about boundaries drying up here. A score is an important one over here. Well, with that wicket of Bala, Kekenagaraki Dragons are at 96 for 8 now. Ganesh Haridas is the new batter who's come in at number 10. Satish also coming into the wickets column. Sent back by Pradeep. Ganesh felt there was an opportunity for an easy single. Two more balls to go in the 16th. Taps a turn, trying to take a quick single this time. Yes, they eventually do. And Pradeep will be facing Satish this time. Satish has been bowling really, really slow through the air. Well, that has kept the batters very, very quiet. And let's see if Pradeep would like to break the shackles and go for it. And doesn't do that. Trapped on his pads on the back foot, and that is eventually given. Tried to play safe, but got trapped in front of the wicket, and that is the ninth wicket. Well, Arcade, Nagar, Arcade Dragons are losing their last few wickets very, very quickly. The ninth wicket gone just for 97. They would have loved to take this at least till the 20th over without even bothering what the eventual score was, because when you try and consolidate and try and play more overs, runs will eventually follow, because as batters you're going to get settled in, uh, and then of course you will be getting that odd ball. Bowlers will start getting into the pressure because they would love to wrap up things any moment now. But imagine if this goes until the 20th over, I'm sure the bowlers are going to be feeling happy about it, and they are going to be making those mistakes. So if you just stay there and try to take it ahead, or take it as close as possible to the end of the innings, you have those opportunities to consolidate a score. This is of course if it's in a first inning situation when you're trying to set a score. With that, it is the end of the 16th. KK Nagaraka Dragons are 97 for 9. Looks like Cotson is going to continue. Uh, Trying to be too safe. They're trying to just tap the ones which is coming just right outside off. But the odd ones are turning in and they're trying to get trapped there. Being too safe can also be too dangerous. Oh, what a delivery that was. Completely beaten. Well, there's a different ball game going on in the middle. Spinners getting help from both the ends. Oh, nice connection this time by Ganesh. But then they're stopped again. They settle for a 2. With a double, they are already on a 99. Taps it down for just another single. With that, the 100 comes up for the team. 16.4 overs. Well, it's definitely not a very bad rate for the type of wicket and the assistance the bowlers were getting. As I was saying, if wickets were in hand, I'm sure 120, 130 could have been an interesting total. But we'll have to see how the second innings begins. Sometimes even 100 could possibly be enough. Driven straight down the ground, pushing for 2, went in the gap. The long on fielder finally Barkat there, who cuts it off, and good throw back and ensures that there's only a single taken. So with that, that is the end of the 17th over. Kekenagake Dragons are at 101 for 9. Looks like Satish is going to continue. Cut away towards backward point. A looped one. Tries to clear that off the ground, Jagdish, but isn't able to connect it. Last one was bowled much flatter, but this one tossing it up. Tossed up once again. And that's very well again connected to Zlangon. They're trying to push for 2. No, they'll settle just for a single. There's been a great fielding except for those 2 catch drops early in the innings by Nanagar Super Kings. If not, things could have wrapped up earlier as well. But after that, they've been very, very good on the field with their catching and the outfielding. Oh. And of course, fielding in the outfield, near especially towards the boundaries. They've taken a couple of good catches. Looped one. Ganesh tries to connect that, but again will be cut off at long on by Barkat. Just another single. They're almost at the 18th over. Jagdish and Ganesh should try and take it to the 20th. Oh, misfield. If not, could have been a dot ball on a single taken. With that, it is the end of the 18th. 104 for 9. KK Nagarake Dragons. Vijayan is going to continue to bowl the 19th. He's wanting the long on fielder inside. The deep third goes out. Bowled at good pace. Oh, small mix up there in the middle. That was the last thing they would have wanted. Confusion in the middle. Jagdish, Ganesh wanted to go for it, in fact, but then Jagdish sent him back. He felt that he would not be able to make it, but then. Well, nevertheless, with that, it is the end of the first innings. Kekanagar Arcade Dragons are at 104. They are all out for 104 and 18.1. And Nanagar Super Kings will require 105 to win once they are out in the second innings to win this game number 11. Great bowling effort eventually. Uh, Team all-round effort, especially Adit with the 4 wickets, Gopal getting 3, Satish getting 2, then finally that run out. Most of the bowlers have had great economy. They just had one or two who probably went beyond 6. Eventually, a great bowling effort, made use of other conditions. So with that, it's the end of the first innings. Nanagar Super Kings, once they're back, will need 105 to win. Welcome back, viewers. We are underway with the second innings. KKNR Arcade Dragons had posted 104 in their first innings, and Nanagar Super Kings are back in pursuit of 105 to win. Let's KKNR start with left arm pace. Another very interesting angle and a tougher type of bowler to face. Stavit, who starts. Oh, wrapped him in his pads, but looks like it might be missing legs. But very good fielding by KKNR Arcade Dragons fielders. The openers for Naga Super Kings are Ryan and Vijayan. There's a slip for Tavit. Goes down the ground, Ryan, and very similar conditions to how it was for the Dragons. They're not able to go to the pitch of the ball and clear them. It's not easy to score. Well, the Naga Super Kings have to play the waiting game. Let's see how they go about. And of course, Dragons would love a few wickets in the initial overs. Left-hander coming across, and he's having that slip fielder there. That exactly for that trapped him. A big ask. The umpire is unmoved. Well, it looked very, very close because it felt like it suddenly came in to the right-hander. That is that surprise ball, which Vijay should be, Ryan should be careful with. One which is coming in. Both Vijay and Ryan are right-handers. Nicely driven this time. Is that going in the gap? No, that will be cleared by the mid-on fielder. It'll be interesting to see if Tavit would want to bowl one going across, sort of an outswinger, and get that slip fielder into the action. Much fuller this time. And with that, that will be the end of the first over. And Nanagar Super Kings are at 3 for no loss and are in pursuit of 105. Looks like it's going to be spin again to open the attack. Second over, Arcade Dragons. Thiaga, their captain, is again on first slip. Oh, that was very well connected, but then there is, of course, a longer fielder there. Left arm spinners have been the pick of the bowlers at this tournament. It's never easy to play them, especially if you're someone who believes in playing across and scoring towards the leg side of the straight. But then the previous one was nicely driven, great connection. He went with the spin, shot a one, also bounced much higher. Well, what Ryan did well was went to the pitch of the ball, didn't let it turn a lot, intentionally played it in the air. It was, of course, in the gap, and that was definitely safe. That would be the right way to play the left-hander. Stepped away. Well, the bowler coming into the attack is Varun Vishal, left arm spinner. Well, both Vijay and Ryan seem to be wanting to rotate as much as they can. Now, the moment they're tapping it, they're going in for the single, and that is definitely putting a lot of pressure on the fielders. That becomes an added pressure when you're there, especially in the point and a cover point region, and the batters suddenly take off. You go try and attack the ball, and it's only a 50-50 chance that you might sometimes fumble. But you need to keep calm and ensure you collect it cleanly. Oh, that was almost an opportunity in slip. Was that one? A great ball. Vijayan wanted to go down the ground, trying to aim that gap. The two fielders outside are the long off, and of course, there is a cow corner boundary rider there in deep mid wicket. Cut away once again, and that one is in the gap, and that will be a beautiful boundary between point and cover. Nicely placed, much shorter. And then Vijayan was able to clear that. Apologies, Ryan was able to clear that. With that, at the end of the second over, Nanagar Super Kings are at 9 for no loss. Looked like it was an over, but I think there was one more ball to go in that one, and now it is over up, and that is 2 overs, 9 for no loss. They are Nanagar Super Kings in pursuit of 105. It looks like David is going to continue. He's not getting much of assistance, but it'll be interesting to see if he tries to attack that good length area, because it's definitely not coming in nicely to the bat. Oh, swing and a miss. It's very, very important for you as a batter to play straighter towards the V. That's why at a very, very early age, when you're, getting coached, you're always advised to play straight early in the innings. While the cross batted shots is definitely going to be giving you a lot of rewards, but it also comes with a risk. Oh, nice shot ball. Great pace, great carry. With that pace, I'm sure a nice, good length delivery will bring in the slip fielder interested, especially the one if it goes across. We'll have to see if try to do that, because the full length is not doing much, and the batters are also not going after him. That was at a good, very good length. That is definitely a very good length. Well, what's the good thing about the batters for the Naga Super Kings are doing is that they're not trying to go for risky shots, because survival is going to be as equally important as chasing it. Change in field, change in personnel. Got a deep square leg behind now, and they also have a deep fine leg. Another short ball coming in. Was that a plan? But this time he was able to play it front of square. Well, the field plan had a short ball written over it, signed and delivered by the captain and the bowler. But then the batter had other ideas. He played it in front of square, eventually getting a boundary. This time, the square leg fielder comes in much straighter. As for an appeal, it's too close to the stumps. Just single taken. We'll have to see if the same field is retained for Vijayan as well. Piece for Ryan this time. Have a deep square leg and a deep fine leg. And there's a very fine shot third man. Oh, what a shot! That is beautifully driven for a huge. Oh, no, that is not a six. That is a boundary. One bounce four. What a great connection by Ryan there. And with that, it is the end of the third over. And Nanagar Super Kings are at 18 for no loss. Seems like Varun is going to continue. Oh, another cross-batted shot. This time it was Vijayan. Another boundary to start the third over. While some of these shots, if connected really well, gives you the rewards, it's definitely risky to play against the left arm spinner. Oh, was nicely bowled. Much fuller than the previous one. Took the edge. Just bounced down towards short third. Well, interesting to see what will be the line from Varun this time. Well, interesting to see the line this time from Varun. Oh, much straighter, much straighter. That is definitely an interesting one. It's very important when you're planning your tactics, especially to play against left arm spinners. False start. Nicely swiveled, and what a great connection this time by Vijay. Another one bounce for. What a shot that was. He adjusted himself to go to basically go ahead of the ball, going towards the offside, went down in the ground and nicely connected towards deep square. I think he anticipated a straighter one, or probably the one which probably pitching on off. Let's see what Varun would do to counter this. For now, what Vijan is trying to do is disrupt the lines. That's one tactic to play. The left-handers connect, going shuffling it once again, but this time cut off, and that stopped at backward point, and they're going for 2 runs. Very well run. Great running between the wickets. With that, that is the end of the fourth over. Ananagar Super Kings are at 32 for no loss. The Dragons need a wicket. Seems to be a bowling change coming in. Wicket now is very, very important. The momentum has to shift. One wicket will of course give birth to another one, and probably one more will follow. Well, the momentum has to be disrupted, because for now both Vijayan and Ryan, irrespective of whether they are trying to rotate or going for boundaries, they are being successful and they're being in control. Well, that is the control, something which the Dragons, the Arcade Dragons, have to try and cut off for the Ananagar Super Kings. Nirankar Sharma, the new bowler into the attack. Let's see if he's able to do that. Leg break bowler. Flatter one, nicely bowled. He's got a long off and a deep mid wicket. More of a corner fielder, someone between long on and deep mid. I'm sure both are there for the catch. And looks like the mid wicket feeder is going to come in and take a position towards short third, and slip comes in. So there's an open gap between deep mid wicket and all the way through to short fine leg. And that is something Ryan tries to attack, but collected at mid on. That gap is still there for Vijayan as well. Quick single taken again. Well, the gap is still there. I'm sure that's going to be tempting for Ryan. From the cow corner, deep mid wicket boundary, all the way to short fine leg. Seems to be an interesting tactic. And he tries to eye that. He just places there to take two comfortable runs. And the good thing over here is that the gap is not getting into the heads of the Super Kings batters. They're not concerned. They don't want to go for it. Well, they're staying calm. They know that it's a ploy. And this time, Ryan tries to connect it but misses it. He's getting a bit tempted, which ideally he should not be, as they are at a good rate. That glaring gap is still there. Oh, was nice bounce and beaten. An interesting over comes to the end, and with that, end of 5 overs, and Nagar Super Kings are at 36 for no loss. With a change in ends, Bala is going to be the new bowler coming in. Also a right arm leg break bowler. He's also got a long off and a deep mid wicket fielder, and that glaring gap all the way towards short fine. But then that's getting slightly adjusted. Well, the Ananagar Super Kings are going in perfectly well. They shouldn't try to do too much from here on. Just keep rotating singles and taking those doubles whenever they have the opportunities, just like now, because boundaries will eventually follow. a small fumble there by the long off fielder, but the both the batters making most of it and taking another quick single just in that fraction. Great running between the wickets. All the first three balls have been much flatter. Won't be surprised if there is a looped, tempted, flighted ball coming in. Still keeps it, and that is eventually taken at backward point. We invited that drive, pulled it slightly with additional pace, took the edge and flew to backward point, and that was eventually nicely taken. Well, a breakthrough for the RK Dragons. Let's see if they're able to, you know, put a halt into this momentum, or can Ananaga Super Kings stay calm and continue their pursuit? 39 for 1. Ryan falls for 18 of 13 balls, 1 4 and 1 6. Great company to Vijayan, and it's going to be Karthik who's the new batter come in. Been a very successful over for Bala until now, just given away 3 runs and already taken a wicket. They're probably trying to take push for 2, no, sent back by Vijayan. Wayward down leg side. Last ball of the power play. The dot ball. That end of 6 overs, and Nagar Super Kings at 42 for 1. They require another 63 to win of 14 overs. The Kekanagar team needs more such wickets, more such similar overs. Vinodhanan, new bowler into the attack. Another left arm spinner. Well, they can have more than two fielders outside the 30-yard circle. From here on, power play restrictions are done. The offside, they of course have a deep third. They have a deep point, long off, deep square leg, and seems to be a long on. Not sure why a deep third for a spinner. An interesting ploy. See how that goes. And that is nicely cut away in the gap, but that's fielded by the fielder at deep point. But it eventually, we have to see if it eventually goes for a boundary. Looks like it is. It does not. Oh yes, 4 eventually given. An interesting action by Vinodhanan is coming across, but the other way, coming from over to around. Apologies, he's coming from around to over the wicket as a left-hand spinner. That can sometimes, upset the flow for the batter. Very nice running, pushing the fielders, putting the fielders on pressure, and stealing those singles. But from this angles, I'm sure for Vinodhanan, he's not going to be having the uh, LB into play, because if the batters try to go across, they can, poke one out. Nicely fielded at short third. Looking at history, seeing at this ground, anything which goes beyond the 30-yard circle on that side runs away, irrespective whether it is a slow bowler or a fast bowler. Oh, the bounce and almost hit the shoulder of the bat. Northern is trying to get his over done quickly. Karthik tries to clear that. He doesn't, and as I was just mentioning earlier, if it clears the 30-yard circle behind the wicket, it's going to run away for a boundary. That's how quick the outfield is. Took the edge. Keeper did not cover that. Went really fine. The short third fielder definitely wouldn't have been able to stop that. Runs away for a boundary. Definitely a very tough angle to face as a batter. Good thing is that both batters are playing very, very sensibly. They're not getting tempted. They don't want to go for the big strikes, because they start losing wickets. The pressure is going to come back on them. With that, it is the end of the 7th over. NAGAR Super Kings are 54 for 1. Leg spinner would continue. Bala. Oh, nicely driven there, but then they have a sweeper cover there. Just a single. With the fielders placed on the offside, in the boundary. I'd love to see if Bala can, tempt the batter. It's okay, take the risk. Bowls a flighted one. Tries to do that, but then it's driven towards covers. Well, the batters would definitely be tempted with that gap between deep point and long off. Oh, was completely beaten. What a ball. Great bounce. And Vijayan would love to go behind, would have to go after Bala. It's the right time to blow a flighted one. And tries to paddle that out and ask for an appeal, and not given. Like by given eventually. Trying to cut away in that gap, backward point, and steals a single once again. They're going in very, very well. What the Nanaga Super Kings batters are doing is that even if they do not have the opportunity to score boundaries, what they're trying to do is they're trying to convert those singles. Bala trying to get his deep square fielder much finer. Oh, was eventually well negotiated. And with that, that will be the end of 8 overs. Nanagar Super Kings at 57 for 1. Northern continues. Oh, it's very well connected. Fine to on the leg side. Vijayan seems to be confident of that, and that's a beautiful boundary. Well, the angle in which Vinodhanan is actually coming in is not a very comfortable one to play as a right-hand batter. Well, Vijayan trying to counter that, swivels himself, tries to get ahead of the ball, and confidently plays it fine towards the leg side. A nice connection, that one. This line doesn't seem to be working for Vinodhanan. Well, he has been very successful. Oh, great running between the wickets there. Great intent being shown. I think this has been the difference in the teams. Well, I was just saying, as I was mentioning earlier, Vinodhanan has been successful in trying to keep the batters silent. They're not going for boundaries except for that 1-4 which Vijayan, manufactured on the leg side. He's keeping it tight, just giving away those singles, but then it's not helping him get those wickets. But for now, wickets is what will matter for the Dragons. They would love to have one, but then Vijayan seems to be in great touch today. Asked for an appeal, yes, eventually given. Pitched on line, hitting in front of stumps. I'm sure Vijayan wouldn't have expected that. He was trying to shuffle around and trying to manufacture another boundary down square leg, but then this time ends up getting his leg in front. Oh, pitched on line. Looks like it went much quicker and then trapped him there. Vijayan was in no clue of what to do there and eventually got his legs trapped. And with that, it's end. It's one more ball to go in the 9th over, but then Ananagar Super Kings are at 64 for 2, and they need another 41 runs to win of 67 balls. That last ball, Vijayan was out, trapped leg before by Vinodhanan. Apologies, Vinodhan. 34 balls, 34 runs of 32 balls, at 5 fours in that. The new batter in the middle is Satish. Sorry if I didn't pronounce it well. Vinod Han is the bowler. He's got his first success with that angle. Almost going to be completing 2 overs. It's taken a wicket and given away just 15 runs, and looks like that will end up to be another single and will give away 16. Successful over comes to an end for the Dragons, and with that, it's the end of the 9th over. NAGAR Super Kings are at 65 for 2. They need another 40 more runs to win in 11 overs. Dragons need wicket. Let us see what Tyaga has got in his plans. What are the tactics he'll have? He's going to bring in Varun Vishal back into the attack. Let's see what the options Tyaga has in his sleeves. Coming again over the wicket. The left arm off spinner. Continues over the wicket for Karthik as well. Lob towards the deep mid wicket, and that's well fielded. Just another single given. The Dragons have been able to keep them quiet and not give away too many boundaries, but the Super Kings have not worried about that. They've tried to ensure that the scoreboard is sticking with singles. Another drive down towards long on for most single. Well, singles seems to be easily available. To try and make it a little more tight, the Dragons have to get a little more aggressive with their fields and a little more aggressive with their tactics. Played in the air, but there's no one there. Goes too long off just for another single. So with that, that will be the end of 10 overs. Oh no, sorry, there's one more ball to go in this. Almost, loaded to swing it. Then eventually just gives away another single towards long off, and that'd be the end of 10 overs. NAGAR Super Kings are at 70 for 2. They just need another 35 to win from the next 10 overs and 8 wickets in hand. Nirankar continues in a dream delivery, the first one. Nicely bounced as a leg spinner. Great. 2 deliveries by Nirankar until now. Oh, edged once again. Oh, it's nicely fielded at the short fine region. Karthik was trying to, apologies, Satish was trying to swing away everything. Driven towards deep point for another single. Tyaga trying every trick in the book to, to get more wickets, but then the Super Kings batters seem to have that zeal. What a connection this time by Satish! What a hit! Beautiful six, that one. I was just mentioning, no one is getting tempted. But then with that six, the end of 11 overs, Nanagar Super Kings are at 76, 78 for two. The Dragons should not drop their shoulders, should still have that confidence in them. Bala, the new bowler coming in, tries to drive in the gap, and another boundary comes in. This time, confident force coming in. Great connection, great shot this time by Karthik. He seems to be a great driver of the ball. And after that hit of Satish in that last ball, this boundary, would definitely put in the doubts in the minds of the fielders and the bowlers of the Arcade Dragons. But then they should not worry about it. As I said, 1 or 2 wickets will definitely make a difference. So with that small gap, a small break, We have got the ball back now, and we will continue. Well, Bala is having a very, very fine shot, fine leg fielder. It's very straight. Trying to adjust him a little more. Caught short of a boundary towards covers. Much straighter this time. A nice negotiated for a single. Well, Satish seems to be the one who's much interested in swinging. Will he go across once again? He tries to go straighter this time. What a great connection. A straight hit and another beautiful six. Well, he's in a hurry. Satish seems to be in a hurry. He wants to go early and have dinner as soon as possible. But this is the opportunity for the Dragons to try and get another wicket here. Yes, of course, it's only 16 more runs to get. But then they shouldn't make it easier for the Super Kings. But anything can happen. Another quick shuffle and almost a yorker by Bala. They just settle for another single. Oh, it was nicely cut away and another boundary. Everything going the Super Kings' way now. Well, this victory will ensure the Ananagar Super Kings are going to be on top of the table, and it will also help them with the net run rate. Cut away just to covers and not take that single. That will be end of 12 overs and 94 for 2. The Dragons. 11 more runs to go. But as I was saying earlier, this win for the Super Kings will, ensure that they're going to be top of the table, and I'm also sure that it's going to be, impacting the net run rate in a much positive way. Oh, a quicker one this time by Nirankar Sharma, but wide, completely wide of off, trying different tactics. Well, the Arcade Dragons, the third match they're playing, the initial one they lost to Besanagar Blasters by 3 wickets, and then the second one they won by 3 wickets against Egmore Tab. And the Ananagar Super Kings had already defeated the Omar Kings United and Velichari Challengers, both winning by 8 and 6 wickets while chasing. Chasing seems to be working for them. Bowling first seems to be working for them. Ten more runs to go. Oh, ask for an appeal for a stumping, and that is given. Was another almost a medium pacer and a nice take by the keeper, and he was very quick in getting him out, in dislodging the bails. Satish falls for 18 of 12 balls with those 2 sixes. Great reactions by the keeper. Jayasuriya was the keeper there. It's very quick, great reflexes, and it was unlike the usual previous overs for Nerankar. He was bowling it really, really quick. He tried a new tactic, and it worked for him. But it's probably too late in the innings. 10 more runs to win for the Nanagar Super Kings. But a good cameo by Satish comes to an end. Scored the two out of the only three sixes in this innings. It's not been very easy. But Nanagar Super Kings, the batters, they've been very, very smart. They played the wicket. They played what was working for them. They did not rush too much, and they waited for it, and they were trying to rotate and get as close as possible to the target. So Danish Kumar is the new batter who's come in. Slight misfield. That is the last thing the Arcade Dragons would have wanted. Oh, that was nicely slapped in the gap for another boundary. No, that is nicely collected by the deep point fielder. Just two more runs given. For a moment, from this angle, when I was viewing it, looked like it was running away to the boundary, but then it's collected. Because there was a review available, but then Satish didn't go for it in the context of the match. An attacking field this time. Tyaga comes into the slip position again. 9 more runs to get. Apologies, 6 more runs to get. Vinodhan is back into the attack this time. A false start. Just mentioning this time he was coming diagonally around the wicket. Cut away just for a quick single. The slip goes out. 5 more runs to win. With that single, the 100 comes up for the Ananagar Super Kings. 5 more runs to win this one. Will Danish be interested to win it with a maximum? Didn't bounce much. Cut away. Then trying to attack the wide line. Played it straight back to the bowler. Nodhan is not giving it away easily. It's a good mindset to see. That's a good attitude to see. Once again beaten. False start once again in this over, or is it just a tactic to disturb the mindset of the batter? Interesting to see that. Just another single taken. Tapped away towards short third for another single. That is the end of the 14th over. 102 for 3. The Ananagar Super Kings, and they require another 3 more runs to win. Nirankar will continue. Let's see if there are any other tactics in store. Is he going to try to bowl that usual leg spin, or is it going to be another quicker one, something which he was darting in the previous over, which also got him that wicket, stumped out. Tyaga coming into a slip position for Nirankar. For 104 runs and then a clinical chase. 106. Definitely, this will help them get a good bump into the net run rate, and eventually they go to the top of the table in the CPL. Thanks for joining the stream today, and looking forward to the next one. Good night.